Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Crossover. Starring Josh Johnson and Chris McGill. Featuring Christina Thorson. And of course, you, the Instagram live chat. Now, sit back and enjoy this week's edition of The Crossover. Powered by Card Ladder.
First. I was the first one. First one on tonight. 41st, I mean.
41st, right, of course. Yep. Feeling good about your Suns?
Dude, it's gonna be really hard to not just be super excited this whole show about this team because JD is fitting in perfectly.
Yep. That's they had an easy win tonight, didn't they, over the Bulls?
I felt like I watched most of the game. I didn't see towards the end, but I was like, where's Durant? Like, is he even in this game? I haven't seen him doing it. And I look at the stat sheet. He's got 20 points on 10 shots, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, plus 24 in the box score. It's like, that's just what he does, you know? He's just so efficient.
Yeah, that's incredible. What do you think about picking up Derrick Rose as like a 10th man?
Nah. Cameron Payne's fine. We don't need Derrick Rose.
Oh, sorry, George.
You get excited about the name or whatever, but like, is it really that much of an upgrade over Campaign?
Right. No, I don't. Yeah, I mean, Campaign has proven himself in deep playoff runs recently.
Yeah, he's not like amazing or anything, but no, he was pretty solid in the playoffs 2 years ago. Like, so he can be good.
Yeah. No, I have respect for his game. All right, well, welcome everybody to the crossover. Today's Friday, March 3rd, and we're going to open up with some mail days. So Christina has one that I'll introduce. I don't have any. Do you have any, Josh?
No.
No. Okay, so I'll make this quick. Last weekend, Christina and I just kind of spontaneously got the idea that we wanted to go find a box of 2020-21 The Cup. This is exquisite for hockey. And that's not a typo. This is a new release. Okay. In the year 2023, this is a new release. And it's really exciting because it has RPAs of Jason Robertson, who's a breakout all-star for the Dallas Stars. So we weren't able to find any locally because all the stores were sold out. And so Christina was able to get a box online. And who did you get it from? One of our
Joe, oh baby, I like it raw.
From Joe, oh baby, I like it raw. Friend of the crossover, question asker, commenter. He's in the chat. Okay, so she picked it up from him, and here it is. So that's the one mail day this week.
The shop is called Piece of the Game.
The shop is called Piece of the Game. So thank you, Joe. All right.
So why is it so late? Is there a story there? Are they like going to release the next 2 years like immediately after this?
I don't know.
It was super delayed during COVID, and then manufacturing issues, and then returning the signatures. Jason Robertson is actually a redemption in this product because they just had to release it. Like, they couldn't wait anymore for the star rookie to give his redemptions back. So it'll be a fun rip though. I'm excited.
Well, there you go. So it's not even live? It's a redemption?
No, he has a redemption for like his short printed cards. Okay. I think his RPA is live, but not the short print version. All right, got it. All right, well, there you go. Those are mail days. What about announcements? Any card letter related announcements for this week? No? Christina? No. Okay. Let's get to some questions then. We bumped them up to first place this week. Vinny Slabarino. He says, always. AETS. What? AETS.
Yeah, always AETS. Always enjoy the show. Is it too early to start getting excited for the National? What will Card Ladder's presence be at the show this year? Thanks.
I could argue it's too late. All the hotels are like booked up.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Well, what about we're gonna be there? We're gonna be there, right? Do we have hotels?
Yeah, I booked our hotels in November.
I asked her tonight. I was like, "Where are we staying?" I have no idea.
Oh my Lord.
And then I made fun of him because Gary Vee tweeted about it today. So I was like, "Is this why you were asking?"
No, I can think for myself. Thank you.
Well, nice job, Christina.
For making fun of Josh.
Yep, that's first, and then second for getting us settled in. With the hotel. All right, so it's definitely not too early. It's panic time now. You start panicking immediately if you don't have your accommodations.
This is the time. This is us being the grown-ups and reminding everyone to go this weekend. Listen to what we're saying right now. Go this weekend. Get your travel plans in order now.
Yes. And then what about the card letter presents at the show this year? Do we know how we're going to be present?
I'm not getting stuck at the booth again this year. For someone who claims he has COVID and the other person who claims he has to walk around, I will not be at a booth. So I believe we are not boothing.
Okay, we're going to reframe this as we're going to be omnipresent. We're going to be everywhere. We'll be throughout the show rather than
you just have signs that look like we're just carrying a booth around.
Mobile booth? Yeah, I like
we're just not booth people. I just get too anxious staying in one place.
I know. I don't want the action to have to come to us. I like to go to the action. I like to create the action.
I like to see what everyone has. You can't do that when you're stuck, like, telling people about card ladder, answering questions.
Right. And we've got some butt to kick on the basketball court. So, just going to throw it out there for those who know, 11-0. For those who know.
If you know, you know, right? Isn't that the cool young kids thing?
That's the way that one goes. All right. 515 Sports Cards had a fun question here. Start one, bench one, cut one. March Madness, NBA playoffs, NFL playoffs.
Easy peasy. Bench March Madness. So overrated. People are not going to like that. I think March Madness is overrated. It's like the only time I like March Madness is the first 2 days when it's just 50 games at once. And then once it gets down to like, I have to actually sit and watch a whole game, I'm done. Mm-hmm. And then, I know what your answer is.
Yes, you do.
But I'm deciding if I want to say the NFL playoffs.
Yes, you are. I didn't know which way you would go because, like, dude, honestly, the drama of the NBA playoffs, when it's like last minutes of a Game 7, I don't think any moment in the NFL can match it.
Can I give you the counter?
Yes.
It's not going to be such a great argument this year because the NFL was pretty chalk, but I feel like the NBA is more chalk usually. But this last NFL year did not make me look very good on that. That's the only thing. During the NFL playoffs, you were like, God, I'm sick of the NFL playoffs. I want NBA regular season. So I definitely know where you're at.
Yep. Yeah, no, mine is so obvious. Yeah, I definitely have NBA playoffs first, NFL playoffs second, bench March Madness. But I'm not going to say March Madness is overrated, but it's my least favorite of the three. But I still like it, though.
It's overrated.
Chalk means all the favorites won.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not like, obviously, it's not always like that. But in general, I just feel like the NBA is kind of the guys you expect to be there or there at the end. And the NFL has some surprises like every other year. So like there'll be a wild card that makes it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, it's a great point. NFL definitely has more parity. So was that what you're going with?
No, I'm going to NBA. I've always been an NBA guy. I was just kind of trying to get some,
Round of applause. Okay. NBA playoffs, put some respect on them. All right. Drake's PC says, last week, Josh mentioned collecting LeBron because he has an attachment to him. I don't know why that made me laugh, but it sounds weird. An emotional attachment. And enjoys watching him play as opposed to young guys, as opposed to collecting guys like Marino, Steve Young. Yo, Marino and Steve Young. Where's Drew Brees and Peyton? Okay.
He wanted to go a little older. He like guys he knew I didn't watch.
Yeah, you forgot it. Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. Okay, so fast forward 10 to 15 years from now when LeBron is retired. I don't know. Is he still going to play another 15? Does Josh see himself continuing to pick up plain year LeBron cards and continue to add to that collection? Or will he sell off some of his collection to focus on active players?
Well, I still collect Penny Hardaway, who's been retired for a really long time.
Yeah,
so that's kind of the answer. I like retired players.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought when I saw this question. I was like, well, you know, it was King Penny PC, and Penny is like at the heart of it. He's retired, obviously, and there's the '90s thing. So, what do you? Let me ask you this: as strictly as a collector, would you rather LeBron just be retired right now, so you could? Yeah.
Kinda. So I could stop. I could stop watching the injuries and the Laker drama. I'm so sick of Anthony Davis and this team. Like, thank God for this Durant thing because I finally got a little extra juice to watch basketball now because I'm just so tired of this Lakers team. Yeah, kinda.
Yeah, dude. I think like it is true that there's a lot of juice provided by collecting an active player. It's fun to follow them, but like we don't always think about the other side of that coin, which is that there are lots of people who only want to collect retired players so that they don't have to go on the roller coaster ride, so that they don't have to anguish through hearing commentators say stupid things about their player and like go through playoff runs. Like, or like if it's like Tom Brady, it's like, you know, I would say, let me just wait until he's 100% retired before I get on the Tom Brady collecting train, because I don't want to hear about how he's fallen off and, you know, he's past his prime and, you know, he's hurting his team. Can we get a new quarterback in there? I don't even want to deal with all that. Let me collect him once it's all set in stone, and I can just focus on collecting him and his legacy.
Yeah, there's a big difference between collecting an active player in their prime, like winning awards and championships, and someone at the end of their career. Everything's already pretty much set in stone in terms of their legacy. I'm not sure what he can like reasonably do at this point. I think, you know, the injuries are starting to become more common, and I'm with you. Like, would you want like Jordan played for the Wizards? Do you wish that you could just like undo all those years, or no?
I don't want to take away those years because it still is cool to be able to watch him play in any capacity.
Yeah.
But would I have enjoyed collecting Jordan during the Wizards years? Not as much as I enjoy collecting him right now.
Right.
Yeah. So I get it, man. I think there's a pretty sizable group of people in the hobby who like for every person who wants to collect the active player, there's another person who wants to collect retired players. So then they can still enjoy sports. They can still turn on the TV. They can watch, but they don't have to sweat every night the outcome of the game. You know, like that's a real thing. Like not everybody wants that stress.
Yeah. Plus another point that I'll bring up is that I really like collecting eras of sports cards. You know, aside from the player, I like to choose players that I collect based on the selection I have of their cards based on the era they played in. So my two favorite eras are the 90s cards and like those 2003 to 2009 era of like Upper Deck and Top Chrome. So those, you know, we can't take those away from the past, so I'll still be able to collect that era.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed. Okay. NAS Productions, Corey Carr says, high-end collectors seem more pessimistic than low-end collectors lately. Do you agree?
Well, I mean, they've been the more recent bludgeoning of values, right? That's what we're talking about?
Yeah. Yes. And I put this to a poll, and it was like 80-20. Yes, the high-end collectors are more pessimistic than low-end these days.
We also had a lot of the persona of people that came in as the high-end collector weren't necessarily in it for the long term. They just were coming in and they have the funds to be able to invest and buy and hopefully make money. So that person's probably more quick to like shit on the hobby and leave and talk shit about it if it didn't go well for them.
True. Yeah, I mean, the Card Ladder's high-end index is down 33% this year.
What about low end?
Low end is down 36%. So, I mean, it ain't good. In mid-range is down 33%, like 33, 33, and 36. Like,
yeah, it's all about the same.
Everybody's getting killed, but yeah, I mean, look, my reaction to this is that look, the Bears won, and I'm not talking about the Chicago football team. The market bears, the people who, to be fair, the same way that I may have been forecasting and or mildly enjoying the collapse of things that I don't like. Other people were, even people within our very own hobby were, making those predictions about cards, and they are right. And the balance of power has definitely shifted from optimism to pessimism. We are in a clear-cut era of pessimism in sports cards right now, from a market point of view. And so then I just wonder, all right, okay, Bears, pessimists, lead us. You were right. But for the period of like 2020 to 2022, the optimists won. They were the political party in power. I really categorize myself more of an optimist, to be honest with you, just because I don't think there's many more people walking the face of the earth who are more optimistic about cards than me. But I respect the pessimists. I've become a bit of a pessimist, if I'm being honest. I have to be honest about what the data says. So the pessimists won. What are they going to do now? They're the political party in power. Lead us, pessimists. Lead us. What will you do now that you have your platform and the pessimists, what they have been talking about is resonating right now? That's my reaction is, okay, it's their turn, Josh. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I like that. I'm generally more of a pessimist, like in real world situations, but cards, I've just, I'm more aligned with you on it. Like, I just think, I always think back to when you talked about how society used to worship, I think it was like you were talking about like superheroes and what was it? Oh, like businessmen, right?
Yep, exactly.
And now society, worship's not the right word, but like, we look up to athletes now. And I think that just seems like such a good fit for the future. And like cards have this tug on us for such a long time with all these different eras and stuff. It makes sense. And so, I don't really ever like to think about 10 years, 15 years or whatever, but cards going down 33% in the last year, we're doing fine.
Yeah, no, we will do fine. And just as we were nervous about cards going up so fast and to such an extent that they did, now the shoe's on the other foot, and we have to be realistic and say they probably won't keep going down forever either. But yeah, I mean, it's a rough scene out there, especially for people who like collected over the last 2 years. I mean, that's something I keep coming back to, Josh. Like, what were we supposed to do? Were we supposed to just retire from collecting, take 2 years off in our prime like MJ? No, we wanted to keep collecting. We wanted to keep acquiring cards, but man, we are paying a heavy, heavy price for it now that the market has come all the way back down and maybe still has a way to go. So, but we collect through this too. We just collect and keep on collecting. And over the long run, hopefully it averages out. All right. Okay. PLB cards says...
You did say FUT.
I did say FUT. I knew I said it too. Like, as I was saying it, I was like, FUT? Okay. Okay. 86 Fleer Jordan PSA 10s continue to drop. So that is true. One sold on eBay from a seller with like a feedback score of like something very low. It was like 18. But it sold last night for $130,000 on eBay last night, okay? So that's the lowest sale of a Jordan Fleer PSA 10 in Card Ladder's database in the last 2 years. So That's low. Now, again, it's kind of weird, low feedback seller thing. But Golden sold one just a few days earlier for 144. So, I mean, it's down there, man. It is down there. So
what was that card like? July 2019.
That card in July of 2019 was. Christina says 38,000.
I think that was December, actually.
Oh, okay. That card in July of 2019 was about 30,000. So,
I mean,
yeah. Okay. Well, so here's and Cage confirms that Golden one was paid for. So thank you, Cage.
I'm just saying, like 30 to 150 during the biggest run up and the biggest collapse of the last. Like, it's like we're still way ahead of schedule.
Right. Yeah. If well, that's
Like, did 750, dude? Do you remember when that night happened? You and I were just like, what the fuck is happening? Why are people spending 750 grand when that card sold for 200 grand like a week ago? This makes no sense. There's 300 of these. It made no sense. And so because it sold for 750, it's just taking longer for it to be pulled down, in my opinion, because people just have these memories of like, well, this card was 750. There's no way I can let it get away for less than 200 and it just kept going slowly down, but like it just went way too high, in my opinion.
Yeah, it did. And so this question goes, so as this card continues to drop, at what price would you consider buying one? Mostly thinking of this from a collector's perspective, but if you'd only be buying for value reasons, that's fine too. So,
dude, you've owned that card once?
I've owned PSA 7.
Right. I mean any grade.
Yeah, I've owned a PSA 7 twice, and I never really kept stuck with it.
Yeah. Would you rather have that or a 2020 optic gold Jokic? If you weren't allowed to sell them.
Well, I mean, a PSA 10 Fleer Jordan, it's worth like a bazillion times the Jokic.
You said you're not allowed to sell them. You have to keep it.
Yeah, I mean, there's just I get your point for sure, but like there is a point at which I want the Jordan Fleer PSA 10.
Sure, but it's like, but you as like a collector. So let me ask a different way. 150 is still like way too much for you to like buy that card and really enjoy it as a collector, right?
Yep. Yes, it is.
You can almost buy like a freaking rubies or something. You like there's way more cards you would rather have.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing, is that at that price, I'm gonna go. At that price, I'll pick up a StarQuest Gold, which I really want, Playmakers Theater, which I really want, and maybe try and fit in like a low-grade Essential Credentials or a Slam Bams or something. I could get like all those, right, which are all grails that I need. So, yeah, I just don't think that at that price that card is in my – but also that card's not in my collector wheelhouse.
Yeah.
That's a card
that – But that's what we think about it, right? We think about – at that level of money, you and I and Christina, we have to think about what could I buy instead of that I would enjoy more for my own collection, right? Like if you're telling me I'm going to spend 150 grand and I lose the auction for that Fleer, you and me are immediately like, oh my God, what can I spend this 150? Oh my gosh, I can get so much awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't even make sense for me to buy the PSA 10 Fleer.
And I don't want to live and die by the monthly auction either and just be sweating out sale after sale after sale.
Every auction, dude.
Good. I'm good on that. I'm good.
I had a card that I bought like a year ago for a lot, and then it showed up at auction for the first public auction since I've started collecting. I was so mad. And it's been one auction, and I was like, God damn it, get out of here. I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
Imagine every week.
Are you up for doing recording personal voice messages for people's voicemails? Because Tim would like to know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Like, would you record his greeting? That
like, hi, you've reached Tim.
Yeah. Are you willing to sell that service?
Do I sound like I'm a voicemail guy?
I don't know. You have a soothing tone. You might just put the caller at ease because they get a little nervous that they didn't reach him. Yeah, and then you put the. Yeah.
Yeah. I charge $1 billion per recording.
Would you do it for one Fleer PSA 10 Jordan?
One voicemail for one. Yeah, I'd sell it and then buy a bunch of sick cards. Yep. Deal.
See that? Okay, for me, I think I've always kind of stuck to this line, and I'm going to stay with it now. I'm interested in that card at like 30 grand. That's when I get interested in that.
Well,
card,
that's the July 19 price. That's what I'm saying. Like 30 grand to me feels more like, all right, now we're talking.
Yes, exactly. Oh, here she comes. Her first appearance.
I remember I had a meeting with someone before we launched Card Ladder, and they were like, "What do you think about the Fleer MJ rookie card?" And I was like, "Oh, like it's an okay card." And they were like, "Yeah, it's gonna be $100,000 card," and I laughed on that meeting, and I was like, "Good luck with that." I ate my words.
Nice. Well,
but I still don't think I would ever pay anything close to that either.
yeah. All right. Well,
But we had people saying it was gonna be fun. Remember that when like the documentary launched and people were spouting off numbers of what it's gonna be? 500 grand, 250, $1 million. Remember that?
yes. Back when documentaries made everybody rich in the hobby.
I'm still waiting for the LeBron scoring record to, get me that mansion. It hasn't happened yet.
As Darren Ravel would say, it was baked in.
He says a lot of things.
Okay, all right. That's going to be a fun card to watch, is that 86 Fleer. Okay. The Cardfather 13 says, "Hey guys, love the show as always. After seeing Luka and Kyrie put up huge performances to overcome the 76ers, what do you think their ceiling is for the potential of this team? How far do you think they can go in the playoffs if both are playing well?" What do you think? Do you have any thoughts on this, Josh?
Last night or yesterday, they were fucking exciting as hell. They were so dynamic. Like, Kyrie can score the shit out of that basketball.
Yeah. They had 82 points together, which is wild. Like, I'm going to use that to feed into the next question so we can open up the discussion. Chris Cards KC says, "Let's discuss the Western Conference being wide open." I just want to say one thing. It ain't wide open, my friend. There's one team sitting at the top of that conference that needs a little bit of respect put on its name. But, yeah, dude, when you've got the Warriors with, like, 4 Hall of Famers, when you've got the Suns with 3, possibly 4 Hall of Famers, you've got the Mavericks with Kyrie and Luka, you've got the Nuggets, who is the team I was just referring to, you've got the Clippers with multiple Hall of Famers and still, like, hungry to make their push. Can I throw the Lakers in? Because, like, I don't know what their status is right now, but, like, there's teams. Like, dude, the Kings, I mean, the Grizzlies, there's just teams. The Timberwolves are a scary team. Like, there's lots of good teams in the West. What do you think, Josh, about the West being open?
Well, Denver has a really good home court advantage, so you're gonna have to go through Denver. So, yeah, like the altitude, the arena, the fans are really good there. It's really tough to win there. So I wouldn't get too excited about like playing the Nuggets in the first or second round if you're one of these contenders,
Yes. Yep. Denny asks, is Russell Westbrook going to be a Hall of Famer?
Bro, as someone who's had to watch that guy in the Lakers, I fucking told you, why the heck are the Clippers still playing him? He's starting, dude. They're 0-4 with him. He's terrible.
Yo, can we call in South? Can we phone a friend here?
Jeez, man, he was ready to go on those takes. He was ready. He was firing them off. Pictures of Paul George and Russell Westbrook chatting it up at practice, coming up with their game plan and how Westbrook's going to shoot 0 for 8 from outside the paint. Brilliant. Did you see Draymond Green guarding him?
Bro, he was giving him 20 feet.
He was in the paint. He was under the basket. Like, go ahead.
Dude, at that point, he has to shoot that shot. And if it's going in, you stay out there. And if it's not, you come off the floor.
He's playing like 30 minutes. And he's starting. Why are they playing him so much? Right. How many coaches does he have to go through for us to realize, like, each coach that gets him is like, I'm going to be the one that kind of reins him in, gets him to be a contributor as a starter and, have him stop. It doesn't happen. It's not going to happen. You got to just bench him.
Would you play him at all? Would you play him?
No, bench.
Damn.
Just look at the analytics. Look at the stats. It's very simple. This is a math game. It's a game of math. It's numbers. When he's on the court, the team does worse. When he's off the court, they're better. How much more proof do you need?
I know. And the Clippers really want to play 5 out. That's how they want to beat people. They want to have 5 shooters. Well, they want to have 3 shooters plus Paul George and Kawhi being able to attack as well as each of those guys can shoot too. So.
And there's only 5 guys on the court, and 2 of them are George and Kawhi, right?
Yep.
So 1/3 of your other shooters is the worst shooter in the NBA. Of course, it's going to be bad.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Any other takes on the? I mean, I'm not going to get too decisive on how I feel about the West because I need to see 20 games of Luka and Kyrie. I need to see 20 games of KD and the Suns.
Yeah.
I need to see these teams figure out how they want to play and get acclimated. So,
well, let me just have my 2 minutes of
yes, do it.
KD. You guys have had a whole season of a top 2 player in the NBA. Kevin Durant is the highest rated player in NBA history to ever wear a Suns uniform.
Oof.
Do you have any argument to that? We'll start there.
No, I don't. But I will put some respect on the names of Charles Barkley,
Steve Nash. But
yeah, I think Kevin. I don't even think it's. Is there even a debate there?
Yeah. So Phoenix has always had teams that the fans are proud of. We've had good teams. We've had well balanced teams. We've had the 7 seconds or less. We've always had some sort of gimmick. We've had good coaches over the years. We've never had an uber superstar. We're always getting beat by MJ. We're getting beat by Duncan. We get beat by Kobe. We get beat by LeBron. It's the same thing every year. So to finally have someone that's a top 5 player in the league, top 10 or whatever he is exciting. So I got tickets to the first game. I just want to see get a little excitement going.
Yeah, that's great, dude. That's great. Also, I'll put Chris Paul in the list of between Chris Paul, Charles Barkley, Steve Nash, and Kevin Durant. The Suns have 4 of the top 40 players ever. That ain't bad. To have
but you know what I mean? This league is won by the Giannis, the Luka, the LeBron, the KDs. It's not like the Currys. Those guys win the championship every year. As much as I love being a Suns fan and love their regular season last year, you cannot win in the playoffs if you don't have a top 5 player. It just doesn't work. Yeah.
Well, dude, the Suns are definitely going to be a problem in the West. Here's what the matchups would be if the playoffs started today. The Suns would be playing the Warriors. Home court first.
We would mop the fucking floor with that team right now. Bring them on, dude. Fucking Warriors.
Let's go.
They're 7. The Warriors are 7-27 on the road.
Yeah, dude. Them not getting home court is going to be really tough to overcome against if they have to go up against Kevin Durant, Chris Paul, Devin Booker. Oh, Devin Booker deserves some mention. Is among the best Suns. That's going to be a tough.
Yeah, but he's just right outside that group of the guy you need to win the championship.
Yeah. No, I know. I hear what you're putting down on that. So yeah, okay, all right. Well, I don't know if the standings. Look, the Suns actually are really close to being able to climb into third. They're 2.5 games back of third, so they could make a push for third even.
Third would be the Clippers or the
third.
What?
Third, you're going to get one of these. You're going to get one of these teams in the 6th seed. Pelicans, Timberwolves, Clippers, Mavericks.
Right. Yeah, listen. If you're not the 1 seed, I feel if you're not the Nuggets, And this like the West is wide open or whatever you want to say. If you're not the 1 seed, you're gonna have to go through 3 tough teams. That's just the reality of it. Like you better be ready for 3 tough matchups. Your first round's gonna be tough. Second round's gonna be tough.
Yeah, it is. Yep. Okay. All right. Next question from the great Pac Nicholson, who's back with a vengeance.
You got your pen ready?
Yes. Maybe even an episode title will be produced here. Pac Nicholson says, have you ever justified overpaying for a card by telling yourself that the single purchase and uptick from the result of you buying this card would be one move that turns the card market and maybe the entire economy around? And you're literally saving jobs, putting food on the table, and making the world a better place by purchasing that card. If so, what would you call this type of world-saving bid or purchase?
I got one.
Joe is our resident Warriors fan.
Joe's ready. He heard what I said. Let's bring it. Let's go. We'll get started talking.
Joe had issues when I was slandering the Warriors last year during the Mavericks series.
Yeah, they won the championship, so we were wrong on that.
They did. Joe is taking notes, man. Joe is taking notes. Okay, Christina, you have a name for this economy-saving bid?
Messiah bid.
How did you come up with that so fast? The Messiah bid?
Because Savior, and I was thinking Son of God, and then Messiah.
You read the religious overtones in it. Okay. All right, Christina says Messiah bid. That's pretty good. You want to workshop something here?
I've never thought of myself this highly where me buying a card is saving the economy. I don't know that I've ever gotten that far.
Not just the economy, like the world.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Have you ever thought about that, like on a smaller scale, like maybe this is kind of new, right? Like for most of the time we've been in the hobby, cards just kind of go up a little bit each time. But now we're in this different world where like we've had this enormous backslide. And I love the optimism of that thought. Like, yeah, me buying this card is going to turn the comp train around.
You and I are definitely single-handedly holding up the Christian McCaffrey and Todd Gurley markets. So, yeah, we are the messiahs of those players.
We are. Or like, what's like a word for like propping something up? Or like holding an Atlas bid. Atlas was the guy who had the world on his shoulders.
Oh, yeah.
Punished by the Greek gods and had to carry the world on his shoulders.
We're being punished by the hobby gods and stuck collecting fucking running backs. Okay. Okay, Stiff says write down enormous backslide. All right, we got Messiah bid from the chat. Triple Threat Sports Cards comes up with Omega bid. I say Atlas bid.
I mean, maybe Alpha bid, but like
Alpha bid. See, because Alpha has that stock market finance meaning too. Alpha.
Yeah, this is making me uncomfortable. Our titles are organic. We don't sit here and workshop titles.
We don't.
This is no good.
We don't.
I like Messiah bid. We get Messiah bid and that's it.
Yeah, I mean Messiah bid. That was just like an open and shut. Like.
Yeah, you just said it. It came out quick. Now we're like workshopping. I don't like this.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna be able to top Messiah bid.
You're welcome.
If I gotta be honest. Okay. All right. So Messiah bid. Pac Nicholson's mega bid has definitely
It's a thing.
It's a thing. Yeah, it's a thing. Have you seen
It's
people
in the glossary now.
Yeah. I've seen people using mega bid.
I've seen people who I'm like, no, they don't watch the crossover.
Yeah.
Using that.
Yes.
That's like the tier outside the tier, like the circle around the circle thing. Like we've hit the next wave.
Correct.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it does really roll off the tongue. It's like I say it, and you're like, oh, I know what you're talking about. You just put in a super high bid that makes no sense. I get it. Yeah, you get it.
Yep, everyone's been there. All right, well, speaking of mega bids, Cage Lawyer has the next question for us. Cage says, what is one card for each of you that if it popped up today, you would use a mega bid on it?
I thought this was the Mike Tyson one, which I have a strong opinion on the Mike Tyson one. So go to that next.
Don't worry.
Gosh, Christina, are you doing the face right now, or we shouldn't be giving our answers because then people are going to bid us up on something? Is she doing that look?
No, she's thinking about her card right now, actually.
Because I saw that question and I was like, I don't know if I should say it.
Jake, don't you dare.
You probably shouldn't say it.
Well, I'm going to say mine because I have an easy cap on it.
And because you always do.
Because I've never not done it before. Okay. Mine is, I am on, for all my like low-end players that I collect, I want all their Prism Blacks. Got all the McCaffreys so far from the base set. I want all the Jokic's. So if one of the Jokic Prism Blacks that I don't have pops up, I'm mega bidding. I'm putting in a mega. I've already mega offered to the owner, so if it comes up for auction, mega bidding.
How would one come up for auction if they're all in one person's collection?
They won't, so that's why my answer is like a comment.
Slam Bam's Penny Hardaway. I'm getting so annoyed that card hasn't surfaced. If it hits right, like it's gonna hit like a Probstein auction one of these days, and I'm gonna be like, fart. I'm gonna have to put in a monster bid.
Wait, has that card sold before?
I don't think it's been at auction for as long as I can remember. There was a bunch of like non-serial numbered ones. So if you see in sales history, they're all the non-serial numbered ones.
Yep, I'm looking right now. It's this stupid one that has the damn hole punched in it.
There's two. That one's got the blue BGS.
Yep.
And it keeps coming back. I'm like, nope. And everyone's very nice. I love all of you, but everyone sends me that listing, and I'm like, nope. But it looks the same. No, it's got to be the real deal. That's the whole thing about cards. It's got to be the real one.
Has a hole in it, but looks pristine.
Well, there's another one too. There's another one floating around that I've seen that's like, it has the /100, but it doesn't have the number to the left of the 100.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just looking at sales history. I see that number 60 of 100 sold in 2006.
I thought you were gonna be like, sold 3 weeks ago. How did you miss that?
No, that's the only one that I can verify actually is a serial numbered copy. There's a missing serial one that sold in 2015. You've got the blue label Beckett one, and then you've got this number 60 of 100. So.
You know how we don't like some of these myths that come out about cards about but the one about some of these hoops cards from 90s basketball being missing, it's straight up fact because there's 100 of those and there's been one sale since 2006, and the high voltage 500, there's serial number to 500, and I've seen 10. So it's it's a fact at this point that something happened with those cards.
Yeah, totally. There's 100 of it. For ultra modern cards, if there's 100, you're going to see one every month or two at a minimum. This card has 100 copies, and you don't see more than one in 20 years.
PMG Red Penny Hardaway, I've seen 10 to 15 of them. There's 90. I've seen 2 Slam Bams. It's it doesn't make any sense.
Yep. Okay. All right. Thank you for the question, Cage. Okay, now to 740 Smith Cards, who says, you can have any card you want, but Mike Tyson punches you in the face. Do you do it?
No. I just don't understand this question. Why would I let someone punch the strongest person potentially on the planet, at least at one point he was, punch me in the face?
I could die. To that. I thought that's okay. Okay, someone replied to that story and said, I don't think people are considering the fact that you could die.
Yeah, dude. I'm pretty sure having a broken cheekbone and face would really suck. You'd be in the hospital getting surgery. I like cards, but come on, man.
Yeah, there really isn't much point in having a grail if you're dead.
Well, here's the other side. Mike Tyson's a little, he's a little odd, I'll say.
Yeah.
He would take this challenge and be like, I'm I'm gonna punch this fucking guy. I'm gonna punch this guy's lights out. He wouldn't be nice about it. He'd fucking light me up.
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, I'm gonna have to say no as well.
I'll say yes.
Because he wouldn't punch you as hard.
No, what are you talking about? He has a history of domestic violence.
Oh shit! I was wondering if you were gonna say, oh, like, yeah, he punched you harder.
Yeah.
He might sneak in a 2-piece on it.
Yeah.
Okay. So
He'll do like a right hook and then a left uppercut or something.
Oh,
okay. So you're
so
saying
bad.
It would have to be 2 cards though.
Christina's renegotiating.
Yeah, like if you want me to get punched in the face, I want both my girls.
Okay. All right, Christina. Oh, and Christina, did you say, Steph, I'm not writing that one down.
Cage said it.
Did you say what you would mega bid on? Or
Cage said it.
Oh.
In the chat.
Okay.
He said
Yeah.
So you would get punched in the face for a maxi cleaver out of 5?
No.
Oh, okay.
That was the answer to the previous question about for getting punched in the face, I'm getting the Luka fucking Black and the Nebula.
The Jordan Green. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well. Yeah, I'm bowing out as well. But the poll was like pretty strongly in favor of yes, Mike Tyson can.
Okay, so you wouldn't get punched in the face, but would you allow Christina to get punched in the face for both of the cards?
No. Who's going to be there holding her hand in the hospital bed as she's bandaged like a monkey?
He thinks about the nuisance that's becoming.
Yeah.
He's more worried about who's gonna feed him or wash his clothes than
I don't deny it. I'm just saying.
I love how he wasn't like, oh my god, I could never let anything like that happen, or I have to protect her. He's like, God, I have to be at the hospital all the time.
Can you imagine how boring it would be in there? Okay.
That was low-key one of the best moments, though, when I was like, yeah, but he wouldn't punch a girl, and she immediately was like, well, he kind of would. God.
he already has.
Okay. JGP Collectibles.
Jeff, get the screenshot of us doing the like pre-fight. You know how they always do the pre-fight thing?
Let's not even taunt Mike Tyson, all right? I just don't even want to chance this. All right? What if we end up getting punched in the face and we don't even get our Grail card?
Yeah, the Luka Black isn't even possible.
So you would have to have the card like in hand and be like, okay, now you're gonna get hit in the face, and I'd be like, okay, now pony up the second Grail.
Right.
If the card's in the hand he's punching you with, he could damage the card.
No, he's not holding the card.
The card like crumbles after he hits you. Oh, sorry. Here you go.
I'm just saying, for RPC, I would take that hit to the face for you and RPC.
Okay.
You're welcome.
All right, well.
And, like, equal opportunity.
As long as one of those two is the Jordan Green, I can't, you're your own person. Yeah, I mean.
And then he's like, so I'll let you do it if you don't make me be at the hospital all the time.
Yeah. As long as we can get this, like, 3 meals thing figured out.
He's like, where do you get groceries?
And she could feed you and me.
Okay.
Me through the straw.
Yeah. I was going to say, you set her up with the iPad and a straw, and she has to, like, put in all the mobile orders for you with the straw.
What George said. He says, the Mint is going to announce special guest Mike Tyson this year. See, Stiff, that's why I'm not even titling this episode, man. I'm not putting Mike Tyson.
I heard you guys were talking shit. About to punch you right now.
Okay, this guy's got a fucking Mike Tyson impersonation. Okay, no.
You guys are talking shit.
You know what the funniest part of that would be, though? Like, Josh was saying, like, oh, we'll get her an iPad set up so she can order your food. I really thought he was going to say, we'll get her the iPad set up so she can answer all the emails.
Well, that too. That too, actually, yep. I mean, what would the card letter community do if they couldn't talk to Christina for an extended period?
Dude, they would think that you and I are just, like, incompetent neurons.
Yeah. Our membership would fall off a cliff. All right. Let's go to this next question here from Jose. JGP Collectibles says, if you could release a customized card of any hobby figure.
I'm out.
Okay. who would you choose? And he says, I can be collectors, it can be influencers, it can be friends. And then he said, but this is the key. He says, this was inspired by Stiff Arm Wax's most recent Grail acquisition. All right. Here, oh, shoot, I turned off my camera by mistake. All right, here's what he's talking about. All right, I don't know if you've seen these.
He got those?
Stiff Arm Wax ordered 2. And so he got this one.
An inscription.
And then he got one with an inscription. Okay. So this is what Jose is suggesting here. And then Josh taps out. And I've premeditated an answer to this question. And here's my answer. I don't care who it would be, but I would just make it I would make a 10-card insert set that has 10 great collectors that nobody in this hobby knows about, or that we know about, but that this industry it doesn't understand a few things. Number one, it doesn't understand that most people in this hobby don't want to be influenced, that they want the opposite. They want to feel like they are controlling their collector journey. They don't want somebody else to tell them how to do it. So I would go far away from influencers who just piss people off, and I would lean into highlighting collectors. And then I would pick like 10 that I respect a lot, and I would show those 10 collectors that this industry actually cares about you, that this industry actually cares about the people who are the backbone of it and who have supported it and will continue to be there, whether the market is up, whether the market is down, no matter who has the license. I would make a product that shows this industry, that shows the collectors who are the heart and soul of this industry, that this industry actually cares about you too. We don't just care about the influencers and all that garbage. We care about the collectors. Because you know what? If I'm being honest, I don't see any overt gesturing that is coming from, the big news topics of the day that just says, hey, we really appreciate and like our collectors.
Well, you took what I thought was a bad question and turned it into the best answer of the night.
Well, I premeditated it. I had an agenda to want to say that, and then I used this question as the main.
That's good. I kind of felt that. You're just like, which question gets this rant?
Yes.
Because it's coming.
Exactly.
But dude, it's true. Because you know that if fucking one of these companies got their hands on this idea, it would be like a Steve Aoki and fucking Darren Ravel 10-card insert set. It'd be like, oh my god, puke.
God, you had to say Ravel, didn't you?
Yeah. It's right. It's true though, because like we keep seeing these companies partner up with people that we don't care about, and they don't give two shits about the collectors.
Yeah, I know. And the funny thing is that the collectors would be like, no thanks, I'm good. I don't want this set.
Even from you making it, they like that's how pure they'd be. They'd be like, thanks, Chris, appreciate it, but I'm gonna keep going the way I'm going, and I like being quiet.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But just the gesture, the gesture would be meaningful.
Well, the real answer to the gesture, like instead of making the insert set for them, how about we gear our products and our tools towards that type of collector in person? How about that? That's a simple solution. What are they asking for? What features do they want? What products do they want?
Sounds pretty good to me. All right. So, Cards and Coffee says, it's been a while, Cards and Coffee. Welcome back. It says 25 years from now, we will be dragging our old, decrepit, leaky asses into the National.
You should probably see
Speak for yourself.
I mean,
I'm going to be fit as a fucker and 60-year-old running up and down. Are you kidding me?
Okay, I'm just not even going to. All right. And then he says, okay, so the point of this question is 25 years from now, what will the National be like? What will we encounter at the National?
Just like nonstop cameras and influencers left and right.
It's just there's no dealers anymore, no tables, no cards. It's just like
studios,
a million cameras.
No, I think it's gonna be.
Sure.
I think it's gonna be pretty standard stuff. I don't think not if you think about it, like we say there's like innovations and all these changes, but not really, dude. Like we have Prism today, and 25 years ago we had Topps Chrome. It's like pretty much the same. So I feel like in 25 years it's going to be pretty similar.
Yep, dude. I agree. I think, and I want it to be similar. I don't want it to be, I don't want it to look like a strip from Blade Runner where it's just like all these lights just flashing in my face and these like holograms appearing in front of me. And, I just want the comfort of just being able to go see people with cards, do trades, do deals, see friends, and, just have a good time. And how much has the National changed over the last 25 years?
None.
That's the charm of it.
People complain about it, but they complain about it only in the sense of like you're supposed to complain about everything that's not digital, right? Like, oh, they're so behind, but we're like, we kind of love it because all of us show up every fucking year. It's the only thing we all go to. If it's so bad, why do we all keep going?
Exactly. Like, and there's this there's a weird thing going on in the hobby right now where like we're projecting and expecting everything else to make our hobby experience better. Like, how can we make the National better? How can we make the products better? How can this be better? How can that be better? Dude, when we're doing that, we're thinking like automatons. We're thinking like consumers who are waiting for corporate America to swoop in and just like, revolutionize our experience. Dude, that's never what hobbies are about. Hobbies are about an escape from our normal lives that we control. We are the active participant. Like, my dad has two hobbies, fishing and photography. In fishing, he goes out on a lake or he goes out in his waders and he's playing the game. He's playing a real life game that he controls. He is engaging actively. Photography, same thing. He goes out in the world, he takes pictures of stuff, and then he goes home and he edits them. Okay, now does he have YouTube content that accessorizes or helps him do stuff? Yeah, he'll go watch a YouTube video about a fisherman pointing out a good spot on a lake, or he'll go read a book about taking pictures. But at the end of the day, the hobby is about him making it into an experience for himself. Same thing with cards. Like, we get so confused, like, that cards should be all about the content, or cards should be all about the products, or the National should just blow us off our feet. No, we have to make our voyage in this hobby. We have to, the way that this hobby is best is when we take control of it and we go in and make the best out of it. We set our destiny. We don't sit back and let corporations decide what our destiny is going to be. So the hobby can grow, it can flourish in that fashion, but it's called the hobby. What is a hobby? Like, we forget what a hobby is. A hobby is something, it's a real world video game. You're playing the hobby. You don't let the hobby just feed you like you're a consumer eating a McDonald's burger. Going off.
Damn, you're on fire tonight. Well, the fucking Bears, you said, are in political office? Fuck that. Let's vote Hoj for president. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, dude, I've been workshopping some takes on Clubhouse this week.
He's just like sitting over here, like writing all this shit down, memorizing his speeches tonight. I'm over here looking like a dingus.
No, I ran out. That was my last one. That was my last take that I was working on last night at 4 a.m.
Well, the other,
of this.
Christina heard a version.
he was in front of his mirror. No, it was really well said, man. I mean, I was gonna add, people are making jokes in the chat about metaverse, VR, fancy Zoom version of the future. I must have missed when the VR version of National popped off, because it hasn't happened. People still want to go to the physical one. Maybe 25 years from now, the tech will be good enough and it'll blow up. But no, I just like still can't envision the world of like Chat GPT and VR National.
We just go to the National and we just like go into our hotel rooms and never leave. Just put on headsets and we're just walking around the.
Well, dude, the point I was trying to make about how I don't think it's going to change too much, and it hasn't changed, is that, and you're getting to the same point, is like, we don't really want it to change. If it gets easier, it kind of removes the fun of it. Like, one of the big points and the reasons that we like the hobby is it's difficult. There's parts of it that are hard, and we're looking for different challenges in our lives. We're not trying to just like buy raw card, grade raw card, vault, sell for 10x, get rich. Like that's not a path that any of us are interested in. It's too easy and boring. We're looking for the PNG green Jordans that are impossible to find.
Mm-hmm. Totally agree. All right, so the National is just going to be a bunch of smelly guys in a room 25 years from now. Same as it is now, same as it was 25 years ago, and it's going to be great.
Sockless weirdos.
And it's going to be amazing. Okay. Mick Wildcat says, right now in the hobby, it's a given that numbered cards are more desirable and therefore have greater value. Is that going to be a given for the rest of time as well? Or is there a chance that numbered cards just won't be a thing in the future? Because if so, I'm screwed.
You won't be screwed. Serial numbered cards are not going away. It's just it makes too much sense, and it's had way too much success for 30 years now. You know, it's like way too much established success.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Serial numbering is our protection against junk wax production levels. I don't think they're going anywhere.
Once I went to a regular doctor's appointment and told him he was asking me about cards and stuff, and oh yeah, I've got my collection in my garage from the 80s, and he's like, I heard it blew up, but then it crashed again, so it sounds like it's the same thing as the 80s. And the first thing out of my mouth was, no, it's very different. Now we have serial numbered cards, right? That's the biggest difference to me between this crash and the 80s crash, was that now it's like, yeah, the prices are going down, but we still have a much better understanding of where we stand because of serial numbered cards.
Yeah. Well, I saw Cage alludes to this, and I saw this on South's story. Apparently, Topps is coming out with negative serial numbered cards.
What?
And zero cards.
Yeah, there's going to be cards numbered 0 of 0 and negative.
Yeah.
This is like when people are like, I'm going to give 110% tonight, and I'm like, that's impossible.
Yeah.
So, no, you can't do that.
They're calling it the Frozone, which is like the superhero character best friend from The Incredibles. So it's just funny.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
they're calling it the Frozone Refractor.
is it going to be like numbered negative 49 out of negative 50?
I don't know the details on that. I know that the numbers are negative. That's what I was told.
Well, so if it's like negative 3 out of 3, doesn't that mean there's 3 of them, which is positive?
Or does it mean there's 6? Because, like,
no.
There's a 1 out of negative 3. I don't know.
Gimmicky.
Yes, I know. Yeah, it is. I mean, what is this designed to do?
Well, the serial
What is the
serial number isn't meant to be like an aesthetic or a gimmick. It's meant to be a way for us to know how many there are, and mathematically.
Yeah, exactly.
What I said was like that when like you get a redemption for the negative card, and then you have to send in whatever number of negative cards it is. So like if it's negative 3, you get a redemption. It says you got the Frozone negative out of negative 3, and you have to then send 3 of your cards to get that negative card because now you're in the negative.
Okay. All right. That's creative.
Maybe it's like how
my life thing.
maybe
That's creative.
it's like how when Westbrook goes 0 for 8, he's actually like negative 4 of 8 because not only does he miss, but he demoralizes the team, starts a fast break the other way. It's just like it's a total negative.
These negative refractors are the Russell Westbrook of cards. Yeah, that is hilarious. Okay. All right, dude. Westbrook's taking. Remember, you were like a little bit on the fence about like Westbrook or CP3 at that one time. And are you happy with how you chose now?
I ended up choosing because I started digging into the stats and I was like, oh my god, he's terrible now.
Oh my god, that's everything. All
Now
right.
that he's gone, I'm just like totally dancing on his grave.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I remember seeing him play in Dallas once, and he had an energy about him that was like, like maybe he didn't love the way things were working out this year. Like, he was, getting real. Maybe that's just how he plays too. I don't know. It was the first time I ever saw him in person, but he was mean mugging out there, man. He was.
People are like trying to shake his hand. And he's like yelling at him. He is very like. He thinks everyone's against him all the time.
Yeah, I don't know if he was having a lot of fun out there. All right.
Yeah.
Totally Certified Die Cut says eBay. This is a free suggestion that I thought was pretty good. eBay needs to make it so that we can message buyers, so that the buyer can, or eBay can keep it private, and make a little money for themselves, take a percentage. But what needs to happen is a deal can be made so that after an auction ends that somebody might have missed out on, they can reach out directly to the buyer, say, hey, I'll pay you 20% more than what you just won this for. And it could be a quick flip for the person who won the auction and a happy collector for the person who missed out. And I had a little situation like this week.
You did.
So what do you think about this idea? Good idea or bad idea?
I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't do it if it's still all internal and they're making another transaction happen and they're taking more money off with fees. Why wouldn't they want to do that?
I thought it was a good idea for that same reason.
Win-win-win? Is that what they call that?
Yeah. The triple W.
Plus, the government wins because you get to pay sales tax twice.
Oof. Damn.
Did you message that guy?
Did I? No, that's what's crazy about this. This just popped up. Like I had a little situation with like a low end McCaffrey card.
No, I mean, did you message the guy on IG about the McCaffrey?
No. The new owner who was bragging during recess? No.
He's like swinging on the monkey bars, like, check it out.
I mean, come on, dude. No, I didn't. But, yeah, I had a situation like this happen to me where I was a little late to buy a card, and the guy probably would have sold it to me if I had access to a feature like this. So, great idea. Maybe
go
ahead.
I was going to hit the bin for you, but even, like, I saw it, message you, and then went and looked, and it was gone.
Yeah. I appreciate you and Flippity letting me know. Maybe the eBay's new GM of trading cards. I don't know if that position has been filled or not, but it's open. Maybe that person is listening now.
I've got an announcement.
Let's go.
It's me. I'll be leaving. I'll be taking the position and then leaving a week later, just the way that they wanted it.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Can you actually though apply?
What do you mean?
Just for shits and giggles. Let's see what kind of questions they get. Like he gets asked.
Don't waste people's time, Lon. Even if
people waste my time all the time.
I can't deny that.
I can vouch for
it. 515 Sports Cards says, stop me if you don't know what he's talking about. Does the new...
I don't know what he's talking about. You asked me that one.
All right. I should have known. Okay. Does the new pitch clock in baseball, have you seen this?
I did. Yep, I saw the question too. I like this question.
All right. Does the new pitch clock in baseball change your interest in the game? There recently was a 20-second strikeout the other day in spring training. Compared to football, that is a full at-bat before the play clock expires. I think this is a great improvement to the game.
Wait. It was a 20-second strikeout? Oh, I thought they were talking about the clock. Okay. So if the pitch, so I don't know about this. So if the pitcher doesn't throw within the shot clock or the pitch clock, is it an automatic
strike?
Ball.
Or ball, sorry. Yeah, ball.
And if the batter's not ready, it's a strike.
Yes. Yeah, both of them got to have time limits. Batter got to be in the box.
I saw the video. The he threw a strike, and the batter did like a super quick little, they always do their little adjustments, and he did it so fast, and he was back in the box, and he was ready to throw again. I was like, this is kind of cool.
It was like watching baseball on 1.5x. That's what I felt like when I saw the clip of it.
It was like watching Slugfest. Like, let's just get to the action.
Yeah. I think it's interesting. I think like it makes me a little nervous because it just feels like a pretty dramatic change in the way baseball is played, which like makes me worry about what type of impact it's going to have on stats. But my understanding is they've extensively tested this in lower leagues.
It's been in minor leagues for 3 years, I think, because they were saying. I happened to just randomly catch this on local radio on a 30-minute drive, so this is the most you'll ever hear me talk about baseball. But they said that most of all the younger players are like, this is not new to me. I've been doing this because they've had it in the minors for long enough that a good majority of the players are already used to it. Second, the batting average from last year's spring training at this time to today is from 250 to 275. And the number of runs per game is like 10 to 12 between the two teams. So they're like, we're already seeing the numbers. And then, if they can get like 10% more viewership out of this, it's a win, right?
Dude, it's a huge win. That'd be an incredible win for them.
So should we answer for ourselves?
Yeah.
No.
I knew that was coming. Yep.
Nope.
For me, I actually don't even like it. I think it impedes the aesthetic of baseball. And so I'm not even in favor of it in general.
So,
Yeah.
do you do like an 8th inning stretch now that it's sped up? Like, because you don't need to actually do the inning?
Look at you. Look at you. What do you say, though? Does this change your perception of baseball?
I'm still not going to watch it.
0 for 3.
Yeah, here's the thing about this. Here's the risk of this change. The people who don't watch baseball currently, I'm not sure why you would all of a sudden want to watch baseball, and the people who love it could potentially be pissed off that you're sort of changing the fundamentals of the game.
Yeah. Exactly.
Risky.
Right, great question. Thank you, 515. Okay. Card Chop Dad. Back at it.
Wait, so what inning is baseball in?
That's a good title.
All right, let me write that. Christina may have just named her first episode. I think you're going to win the episode title either way.
I'm feeling pretty witty tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, I like this. Christina she's had a good week in Card Ladder World, so we should honor that.
She's having a good. Christina's had a hell of a week. All right, let me tell you something. She comes up to me today and she's like, "I'm not spending any more money for a long time." She bought this box of hockey. She bought a new Luka rookie that comes in the mail soon.
Because I couldn't get a hockey grail, and I was like, well, I'm going to console myself by buying a Luka rookie gold.
And she renewed her Dallas Stars season tickets.
There's playoff tickets for this year.
So Christina is just having the week.
You know how often I forget that you guys have Dallas Stars season tickets?
Dude, how about me?
So does Hoge.
Every time you guys say it, I'm like, oh shit, I forgot. You guys have Dallas Stars season tickets.
No, but look, Christina has been has allowed me to stay home for Stars games, and she's taking friends.
That's the best gift ever. Oh, that's such a good gift.
I told Hoge today, I was like, I'm not saying I'm buying my friendship with people in Dallas, but it's not hurting people.
Do what you gotta do.
Dude, yeah. Use what you got.
And it's good too because I'm so I'm so awkward that we don't actually have to talk during the game, right? Because we're watching the game.
Right.
Smart.
Yeah.
Very, very smart.
Some people chose not to honor Christina this week. We are not doing that, and we will be making this Christina week.
Okay, there's an episode title.
She can be on my panel. I'll make a panel that's all types of people.
Thanks, Josh.
That would be a panel for the ages.
Just be Christina and whoever she wants to bring to the Dallas Stars game. You guys just chat it up.
Mohammed said Hoge is low-key praying for an early Dallas Stars playoff exit.
spending, so am I.
You're at the playoff game and the other team scores and you're like, yes. Yeah, I mean, no.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that beautiful horn blare.
When the horn blares, then you can start cussing because nobody will hear you.
Exactly. All right. Okay. So, Card Shop Dad
Look
says,
at the comment.
what's the most impressive set that has been put together by a collector?
Impressive set put together. I mean, the freaking PMG green set is pretty impressive.
But has anybody
Not
completed it?
done.
He's not
Yeah,
done
I don't think.
with it.
No, yeah.
I think Spinatron is like really close to the credentials one.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think he
that's-
might be super close, and he's got like, I think he has the 2 1-of-1s.
Talk about that for a minute, because like people aren't familiar with the '90s, aren't going to understand. Like, what do you mean 2 1-of-1s?
Yeah, so the credentials set is numbered to, I believe it's 81. There's 81 players, and each player has a mirrored number, meaning whoever has the 1-of-1 also has an 81 of 81, and then an 80 and a 2 of 2, and down the line, and then meeting all the way on the other end. So I think he's got the 2 players that have the 1-of-1s.
Which is insane, because like this is a parallel set that has 1-of-1s, but they're not all 1-of-1s. So,
But there's like there's 2 players that have a 1-of-1, and there's 2 players that have at a 2 and at a 3. That's so hard to do.
yeah, that's probably gonna have to be my vote as well, since the PMG green set has not been completed. Although I'll give a hat tip to Sky Blue Cards. Completed the entire 2018 Optic Gold out of 10. So that's pretty impressive as well.
There hasn't been a lot of spotlight on set collecting in terms of like this discussion, like completionists for sets in a while. I feel like it's shifted to players, and
Yeah.
it's an interesting topic. The 1-on-1 is Ron Mercer and Grant Hill, and I believe he has both of them.
I remember that blowout thread when that Grant Hill surfaced.
I'm like 99% sure he's got the Grant Hill.
Yeah. Yeah, so set completion is a big blind spot for me, though, because I'm not super familiar with like all the vintage set collecting that goes on and set registry stuff that goes on there. So there could be some really even more impressive sets that I'm not aware of.
I just want to shout out Mission Street, because he does like really cool insert set
Yeah.
building.
Yeah.
And he like does like in-depth details on the set itself, so you get to learn a lot about the sets that he's collecting and putting together.
Totally.
Nat does have a lot of the 90s sets, like complete or near complete. If you go to his Flickr, he's got them by set. Like he's got most of the PMG championships, PMG greens. He does have the PMG red complete, and then like rubies. He's got a lot of them, and then he's got a lot of the 2012 gold prisms. He has a lot of sets.
Yes, he does. Mohammed, you trying to get banned? We will ban you from the chat, son.
We will. We'll do it. I'm not even fucking kidding.
Dude, Nat, yeah, I mean Nat, and he's close to the PMG green set. Like, I mean, yeah, it's cheating.
6 away or something.
Nat, yeah, Nat's collection is just dumb. All right, and then Card Shop Dad follows up with, "What's the coolest card that you have seen lately?"
In person?
If it's in person, I really don't have many options. Dude,
I got one.
Go.
The Shea Gilchrist Logo Man NT is pretty cool.
Yes, it is.
You saw that one?
Yep, that's coming on Premiere.
It's on. It's already at 130K.
What?
Yep, it's live, bro.
Oh my god.
That's a cool card, dude. I mean, he's top 12 in the NBA right now. His best card. I mean, that's cool.
Yes, it is. That I'm surprised it's that high already. Like, that's nutty. Okay.
I've been.
Go
Go ahead.
Yeah. No. I'm filibustering to try and come up with a cool card, but I don't have one.
We got a couple more. Some cool Kevin Durant's coming across my eyeballs, my screens.
My God. All right, talk about it. Talk.
I haven't bought any yet. I'm still waiting, but I did see he does have some pretty cool logo man autos that I'm like, damn, because LeBron's doesn't have autographed logo mans, right? Or I mean, with Panini.
Right.
So to see some of these floating around for Durant, I'm like, God, that would be cool to have a logo man auto.
When we were analyzing one of the questions that came in today, you knew Kevin Durant's RPA price is a little too fast. You're a little too knowledgeable.
Because the question was ridiculous. You read that question.
I didn't even include that question.
I do know the ratios of LeBron to KD, and I think they're spot on. I'm just saying. Like, KD's great, but come on.
It's just the stupid concept of no. God, I love the question asker. He's one of our best question askers. So please redact from the record my use of the word stupid because I don't mean it here. What I mean to say is that I don't agree with this idea that like if you have 3 championships, then you're just one away from tying LeBron. Dude, LeBron.
And that one thing.
Yeah, on one thing. That's the best way to put it. Kevin Durant will be one championship away from tying LeBron on one thing. So, anyway.
That's like when people are trying to do the Curry. LeBron, he's got the same number of rings. Yeah, and he's got 2 less MVPs, 3 less finals MVPs, like 20,000 less points. Like, come on, do I have to like really spout out the 500 million other things he's trailing him in?
Yep. Exactly.
He's going to have to average like a 40 PER for the next 10 years to pass him in P. Like, come on.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Christina, did you want to give any coolest card? You saw that Ottinger shield thing.
Yeah, the 2020 Cup, Jake Ottinger of the Dallas Stars, 1-of-1 exquisite shield with holes.
Some of those, I mean, this is our modern day exquisite.
Yeah.
From Upper Deck.
It literally is. It's the exquisite insert set within Cup.
Yeah.
And then I also, when I was talking about it, someone showed me the actual 1-of-1 shield of the Cup for like the rookie shield of Ottinger that they had a picture of that hasn't been pulled yet, and that was gorgeous as well.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite like young Luka like hockey player that I don't know?
Jason Robertson.
He's on the Stars.
He's on the Dallas Stars. He was an all-star this year. Which is like kind of like is a big deal. And he's young. He's I think the first Filipino in the NHL.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so like he's really nice. Like he does a lot of like goodwill, social media stuff.
You're right. Robertson is exciting, but Mohammed says don't even compare Robo to Luka, and he's right. Like, don't compare. The Luka's more like McDavid.
Yeah, McDavid. Well, I know McDavid. I was kind of looking for like maybe like the I don't know, John Moran or something like that.
Well, this Robertson he's just so young, but he's really fun to watch. He's got a level of let me just stop trying to sound like I know what I'm talking about on hockey, but I like watching him put the puck in the net. Let's go with that. He's impressive to watch. He's accurate. He's super accurate.
Yeah.
I know McKinnon too. I'm a big Avs fan, so you're not going to fool me with any Avs players. Nice try. You notice how I call them the Avs, not the Avalanche? That's because I'm a big fan.
The Avs are in Dallas tomorrow. I'm going to the game with Becca.
Oh, wow. You don't even invite a super Avs fan?
Becca's coming to the game on Monday with me.
Oh, sorry, Becca.
Sorry, Becca.
Nice. All right. Okay, let's keep rolling here. Nass Productions had me scratching my head a little bit. He said, what is the most sought-after card that was released in the year 1994? This is
again, I
fun.
wasn't listening.
What when you think of the year 1994, what card or sets come to your mind? For me, it's which is way wrong, it turns out, when I just went to sales history on card ladder and typed in 1994. But the card that came to my mind was the Finest Refractor 45 jersey Michael Jordan.
That's right.
Yeah. But do you want to know what the highest selling card from 1994 is?
No, I was gonna say the Finest. Why is that? That's wrong because it's not the highest selling.
Well, this is 1994 SP foil die cut A-Rod. It is a Pop 3, or at least it was. It sold for $115,000 about 2 years ago.
Whoa!
Yeah, so that's a pretty nice 1994 card. You know what else is from 1994? This card.
Dude.
This card. Shout out to Timberland.
That card should be the face of overhyping silly cards.
Right. Look, Timberland, you might have made better beats than me, but my collection is shitting on yours, buddy.
He's got that card and MJ Fleer. He's got at least $5 million on him.
All right. I was surprised to see it's that A-Rod SP. That
feels like a lost year in collect. It's like right on the edge of the junk wax, and then kicking off right before we get into.
Oh my god!
Serial number. A lost year.
I agree. I should have scrolled down a little more. You know what else is a 1994 card?
Oh. Ooh, that's a big one.
1994 Upper Deck, Mickey Mantle, Ken Griffey Jr. dual autograph card. People love that card.
That's a beautiful card.
If you were like, hey, I know you don't like baseball, but if you could have two players sign one card, I would literally be like Ken Griffey and Mickey Mantle. Wouldn't that be pretty cool?
Those guys would be very freaking high. The two hobby icons. And then here we finally get to the 94 Finest Refractor Jordan, which looks
love
like
that card.
Highest sale on record is about $28,000. Yeah. So let's just make sure I'm not overlooking anything else really cool. No. All right.
A lot of A-Rod foils and Mantle.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. All right. Drake's PC. Let's go. Drake says, I noticed that many seasoned collectors who prefer lower graded cards for their PC because it allows them more capital to buy additional cards. What about a card is the tipping point for you when deciding if a higher grade is worth the extra money?
Tipping point, like rarity, serial numbering, you mean?
Yeah, like when are you willing to spring for more money for a higher grade of the exact same card? Like, I guess the obvious example is if it's a 52 tops Mantle, because the grade is the only thing that distinguishes the condition, and therefore the grade is the only thing that's really distinguishing the copies.
Well, I was looking through my photo reels today randomly, just scrolling through my camera, and I saw a bunch of PSA 9 cards that I had at the time, and I have PSA 10 copies of those today. I'm like, I don't own any of those cards anymore, but I own all of those cards today in PSA 10 form. So I think it's like when if you have the 9 for a while and you enjoy it, but an opportunity comes up to upgrade, and you can sell the 9, use the funds to upgrade to the 10. That to me is a nice time to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question. I mean, a lot of the Jordan Grails and me and Christina's PC are lower grade, precisely for this reason, because one high grade Jordan Grail or a bunch of lower grade ones. When it's with Jordan Grails and just we have this checklist, I need these great 90s parallels, I need all of them immediately. That's definitely a situation where I don't mind having a low grade on the card because it means I can get more of them. So
A lot of them don't even have 5 grades though, you know.
that's true as well.
But like I always thought it would be cool. I would love to have one, but I always thought it was a little silly to get like a PSA 10 Playmaker Theater or Jambalaya, and it's like, is it really that much cooler to have that super rare 90s parallel and a 10 versus like, you know, having both of them in a 9 or whatever?
Exactly. Look, I mean, hey, if you got it like that, you know, and you want to have the best of the best, more power to you. But like, to the spirit of Drake's question, like, I'm gonna feel 90%, 99% as cool as the guy with the PSA 10 if I'm rocking a PSA 6 Playmakers Theater. I'm gonna feel like I'm right there with him.
Yeah.
So, all right.
So for some of those, yeah, exactly. It's about having the card, not about the grade. I agree.
Yeah. I don't know. Drake's question is a tough one, though. Like, we're kind of we're spitballing, but I don't know what the exact formula is, Drake, for when the tipping point is reached. And when you say, you know, I'm not concerned about high grade anymore.
Maybe like how often the card sells. Like if it sells once a year, you know, it's like you just kind of take the grade you can get and don't worry about it. But if it sells once a month, maybe you get the 9 when you can afford it, and then you think about upgrading to the 10 if you really like the card and you're not too concerned about the fact that it sells once a month, but you still want it. Something like that, maybe.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. That feeds nicely into this question from Ben Cross Country Runner 1. Somebody wanted to go back to having him called Ben X Crunner 1.
Someone messaged you that to call him that?
Yeah, somebody literally messaged me and said, "Can you please go back to calling him that?" Like, it's not up to me. It's the guy's name. Like, I want to be respectful to his name, all right? But with that said, Ben Crunner says, do you think a card that isn't for sale often, holding everything else constant, will outsell a card that is often for sale because you just can't have it? So you have 2 cards that are otherwise identical, but one sells off and the other one doesn't. And so he's saying, even if it's a shitty card, will the one that doesn't sell as much have more of a desirability? And he goes on, it's like, as a dude, when you're not single anymore, suddenly you become more attractive to other women because you're off the market, or like the Eric Cartman "you can't come here" technique from the Cartman Land episode of South Park.
Those are great analogies. Those are really good.
Yep.
I mean, it's true, right? Because most of the time when that scenario comes up, there's like 2 or 3 people that are just waiting, right? And they finally comes up for sale. It's like, I'm not going to get another chance. You got to put in that mega bid.
Bingo. I think you've nailed it, Ben. That's exactly right. It is about
the outlier index.
Yes, the outlier index, and it's you know, there's two things, and it's almost like if I were to come up with a crossover question right now, I'd say, what's more important, the total number of copies of a card that exists, or the number of copies that will become available? Without any regard for the number that exists. So like, you could have a card that has 100 copies but is for sale every month, and then you could have a card that has 500 copies, but because the people who collect it love it and they want it in their collections, it comes up for sale once every 6 months. And which card is more desirable as a result? And I think it's close. I think it's a close call. All right. Deca 99 says, how did the heritage auctions of the Sporting News Babe Ruth SGC 7 compare to previous sales of that card? I saw some comments indicating it was underwhelming, but it's hard to know. And so I'm no expert on the sales history of this card either. So I just came up with a little search in Card Ladder sales history, and I just searched 1916. So I used Boolean to search 1916, comma sporting, comma news, and then Ruth. And this SGC7, which sold with Heritage last week, is the highest selling copy ever, price-wise. It's the highest selling copy ever. It sold, like they said, for $1.77 million on February 25th. The next highest selling was with Golden about 11 months ago. It was a PSA 6, and that PSA 6 sold for 1.5, and the card letter value using the Babe Ruth index puts it at 1.8. So
I said underwhelmed. I was like, what? I get so sick of like big cards. Oh, God.
Don't worry, I'm coming back.
I get really tired of when big cards come into auction and people start spouting off like 5 million, 7 million, and they're disappointed when it sells for 2. When the reality is like the data never really pointed it to be 5. You just are trying to like pump the market up. I get so annoyed at that.
Yeah. Especially in a situation like this where it's like we don't have, like, I don't even know if an SGC7 has ever sold before.
I'm disappointed that my freaking Mike Trout collection didn't double because that random Babe Ruth card didn't sell for 3 million. It's like that's usually what's going through selfish people's minds. It's so annoying.
Okay, so here's the thing. An SGC7 has never sold before. A 7.5 sold with a blank back in 2013. And SGC 5.5s have sold, but SGC 7 has literally never sold before. So it's just, I want to know what was the calculus for determining that this was underwhelming. That's what I want to know.
Is that considered like his rookie card? I don't know anything about Babe Ruth cards.
I'm not qualified to really opine much on this card or on Babe Ruth cards, to be honest with you.
Or someone's going to be like, that's like a star Jordan.
Right. But I did just want to, I mean, on the flip side, I think that was the highest selling card in that Heritage auction. I mean, like, bro, like this piece of cardboard sold for $1.8 million, folks. Are you underwhelmed?
Dude, here, you know how everyone's all excited about new asset classes and NFTs and freaking ticket stubs and everything? This card was made in 16?
1916.
That's over 100 years old, people. We have over 100 years of considered a lot of people consider to be the greatest baseball player of all time, and his rookie card is over 100 years old, and it sold for 1.7 million. Wake me up in 100 years, NFTs, when you have some damn history. Fuck out of here.
I mean, look, it's no first ticket stub to Disneyland, but it's pretty cool.
This like the history and like it drives me nuts. There's so much history to cards relative to everything else, and I'm supposed to believe something that's like a year old is going to be the next thing. Come on.
Right. Okay. All right. Thank you for the question, Decca. All right. Let's talk, as we wind down here, let's talk a little bit about some Topps Conference news or hype. So I got two related questions. Ryan Bitter says, Fanatics said Topps will make a huge announcement in the coming months, resulting in the largest change to sports cards in a generation. Two questions. One, what do you think it is? Two, what do you want it to be? And then Relentless Daggers 230824 says, Fanatics stated the biggest product announcement in a generation is coming. What are your thoughts? Perhaps a Michael Jordan and LeBron thing. Perhaps signing Michael Jordan and LeBron could be a big thing. Is anything other than that would be underwhelming?
I hope it's not that.
Right. So what do you, I mean, I have no clue what it is. I don't even know where to start speculating on it. But the interesting thing that Ryan proposed was, what do you want it to be?
Topps Chrome basketball is back somehow.
I was hoping a new marketplace.
Oh, you fucker.
maybe 3 new grading companies.
How about like for the largest change to sports cards in generation is like a large company is focusing on the collectors.
Mm.
And
That's hilarious.
Amen.
Dude, it's gonna be something like you just said. It's gonna be some like
Yeah.
it's gonna be some like, asset backed marketplace token thing or oh my god.
Right. Dude, I don't know, man. It's tough, man. It's real. What do you want it to be? I don't even like. What do I want it to be? How about this? How about all the brands that I love keep making cards at affordable prices? The market is as rational and stable as possible, and all the grails that I want to collect become available to me at really good prices.
What I want it to be is like Prisms released or like National Treasures.
Yeah, exactly. How about hey, product schedule is back on time? That would be amazing.
I was thinking back to that topic we had earlier where you and I like don't want it to change, so we hope that this announcement is that they're back on track for release dates.
Right. Yeah. Like I'm not. Yeah. It's just the stuff that I want as a collector is not ever gonna, be like I'm not. We're not gonna celebrate like some. It'll be cool. It'll be cool. But when it's like the biggest thing in a generation, like,
what does that even mean? In the last like 40 years, what can possibly change?
Dude, I'm trying to build the best collection possible. Is this helping me do that or not? That's the first question I need to know. If you're asking me, what do I want to see? Is this helping me get the 3 Jokic Prism Blacks or not? That's what I need to know.
Maybe they're announcing that they're the black 1 of 1. There's going to be 100 of them now, so it'll be easier for you to get them.
Yeah.
99 of them will be numbered negative, so you'll be fine.
I'll be plunging off of that balcony.
As I'm talking, you're like looking over at the balcony.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about it. I'm just like, would I feel it?
If it's like, I swear, if it's like a token-based marketplace or something, I'm gonna freaking lose my mind.
I'm sure it's not. I think it's product related. I think it's.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
No,
that's a product.
No, I mean like a card product. Oh, what's up, card porn? Let's bump card porn up to the front of the line. What are the biggest learnings we can take out of the massive run-up over COVID until now? That's a big question. That's a question that we should not be challenged to answer at the end of a 2-hour show.
I have a great answer for that. I got a great answer.
Please, because I am out.
I'm just steal from your earlier rant.
Okay.
Not to listen to influencers when things are going well. Listen to what you want to collect, because then if you follow the influencers, that's the stuff that got clobbered.
Yeah, that's a beautiful answer, my friend. All right. Jonathan Taylor Card says, why don't more people take pictures of their beautiful cards? We all have 1K phones. I don't get it. And then he followed up and he said, in particular, pictures as opposed to scans. So, like, why don't we take more pictures instead of scans?
Versus, like, influencers posting their own faces? Or is it just, like, scan versus photos?
Well, I think it's all the above. Yes, like we have nice cameras in our phones. So why aren't we taking more, like, handheld pictures or, pictures of our cards?
There's still a lot of that on Instagram. I feel like lots of pictures. Like, I still see a ton of pictures of cards all the time on Instagram. But I guess it's less, maybe percentage-wise, than it used to be. But probably not too bad.
Yeah. Well, here's what I'll say in favor of scans. Scans are consistent. You're getting the same, type of photo. There's something very satisfying about looking at an Instagram page that's laid out of all scans with the same color background and the same size, same framing. There's something satisfying about that as you scroll it. So like I like that. The scan is going to be accurate too, or at least pretty accurate, so you can see the details of the card to probably the greatest extent through a scan. And it's just, the scan isn't always the most flattering way to capture the card, but it's going to give you a realistic approximation of the card. And then one of my big regrets in my Instagram posting of cards is that I didn't do a scan of the Jokic Black Rookie. I took this picture because the scan didn't capture the refracting properly. I tried to take a picture that captured it, but the picture just sucked. I went with the picture, and I wish I could go edit it. There's another thing. Instagram, let me edit. Let me swap in a new picture because I hate the picture I took. That's why I don't even do pictures. I go to scans.
You can't do that, right?
What?
Because you could like something, and then they could change the picture to something that you wouldn't like.
Yeah. Fair enough.
That would get you in trouble for liking maybe either.
If Publius says scans are better than pictures of cards on some dude's unwashed bed sheets.
But what about my nail polish? Do you want to know what color it is?
Yeah, how am I going to sneak my hairy toe into the picture?
What about Justin 610's dirty remote control?
I know, dude. That remote control is iconic at this point.
Remember when the meme used to do the ones with the guy with the long nails and stuff?
Yes. So let me. I used to love the meme. He goes back to this meme too, where it just shows this ugly face, and it's me when I see my reflection in my slab. That's another reason too. Oh, what is this? Justin has abandoned. I guess I never really. He's abandoned the remote control.
Yep.
He's got
the fancy wood backgrounds now.
Oh no.
Yeah, he moved to California, to the West Coast, and he got fancy.
Yeah.
Maybe he lost the remote control when he was moving. Oh, here we go. Here we go. This is the most iconic remote control in the hobby. Look at this. And you know why? Josh knows why he's using it. Christina, do you know why he uses that remote? Because it's so hard to properly get the lighting on your cards. You need a little prop.
Little angle.
That little prop, that little angle. You need it.
Yeah, now that he's in LA, he only eats organic foods and takes pictures on fancy reclaimed wood. That's just the way he is now.
Reclaimed wood. Oh Lord. All right. That's a late entry. Okay.
Whenever I talk about him on the show, I like to DM him the next morning and be like, hey, we talked about you at minute 400. Go straight to that. You don't have to listen to the whole show.
Yeah. Then I get a message that says, God, your takes are the worst, Hoj. All right. Lakes. Also, should we promote our panel with Justin?
Yeah.
We have a panel on Friday at the Mint Collective, Josh, Justin, and myself. And Christina,
It's women of the hobby.
It's about women in the hobby.
I was planning on letting the three of you just locker room style it.
Well, we're going to have our clothes on.
I'm going to be a steam room desk with Charles and what's his name?
The sauna. We're going to sauna room it.
In your towels.
David Marino has a great story about Charles Barkley and the sauna. Okay. All right.
So are you going to talk about the panel?
What? Yeah, come here. Come talk about the
Do you
panel.
remember what it's called?
Yeah, it's about being cool collectors and collections.
Yeah, of course I know. I listen to you.
The panel is called Collecting Cards After the Bubble.
Mm.
Me and Josh had the same reaction. Yeah.
You guys,
That's a really good idea.
I've totally prepped for that. I already knew that.
but I made these panels and ran them by both of you.
No, it's a great idea. Yeah, I feel I probably reacted the same way when you told us the first time.
Well, she told me, she's like, let me know if you think of an idea. Here's what we have so far. And I was like, so I could either spend time thinking of a new idea or say that one's good and go with that. I choose that. That's definitely what Chris did too. He's like, that one sounds great.
It does sound great though. Okay.
No, it does. It's a great topic.
Okay, and then the other panel we have, since we're talking about it, is I'm moderating a panel called Collectors to Corporate, Hobbyists Working in the Industry.
Oh, that's cool. That's actually cool.
Yeah, so that one, I'll be talking to people that we know who collect and have collected and then moved from just a hobbyist into the corporate side of the hobby. So I'm talking about, so like one of the things is like we're talking about it's not just dealers and flippers and going to card shows in order to work in the hobby. There are actual avenues that you could have that 9-to-5 job within the industry. So yeah.
Okay, nice job. Two great panels. What time?
I'm only on one panel.
That we planned.
Yes.
Okay.
But you might be on another panel. I haven't gotten the collectible final panels yet.
Damn it.
And what what time is this?
We do not have times set for our two panels, but they will be in the afternoon on Friday.
All right.
We will not be doing mornings, don't worry.
Okay.
If you can definitely count on the three of us having something super planned and totally not last minute as we're walking on stage. That for sure is.
That's never gonna. We would never wing it.
Dude, I feel like the national. I was like whispering questions to you, like, what is this panel?
I mean, dude, if you're
on a panel together at the national?
not,
Yeah, we were 2 years ago.
Not like Chicago.
Oh, last year, yeah, the previous year, yeah.
Yep. Yes, we were. What's your Mount Rushmore of basketball players?
Yes. That I literally was like, "What's this panel?" And you were like, "Mount Rushmore." And I was like, "Okay, I'll start thinking." But we're pretty good on our feet, like that's kind of this whole show. Like we're pretty quick to.
That's this whole show. Our preparation is every day of our every moment of our lives. That's our preparation.
And you do rehearsals every Friday night,
Yes. Okay.
like live rehearsals. Yeah.
All right. Lakeside Collect. Let's fire through a few more here before we gotta go. Lakeside Collect. I have an Elliot's Pizza that just arrived.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Dude, how many times have you eaten that since I was there?
Elliot's?
Yeah.
Probably about 8 to 10.
Are you serious? That's awesome.
I don't know if that's accurate or not. Christina, can you say if that's accurate?
How many times have I had Elliot's?
Like 3 or 4.
3 or 4.
You guys should meet in the middle at like 6.
I think we're going to call it 6. All right. Lakeside Collect says, what was your favorite book to read as a kid? Focus on ages 9 through 12.
I don't read books.
Fair. I was reading like those R.L. Stine books.
Oh, those are good.
Yep.
Goosebumps?
Yep.
9 to 12. I was reading Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. I never read Harry Potter. Did you read Harry Potter?
I read the
No.
first one and then got bored.
Nice. Also, I'm out on Lord of the Rings. Sorry to break anybody. Break that news.
Like the movies? The movies and the
my
books?
heart on that long ago.
All of it. All the above.
Do you know this about me? I hate Star Wars.
Ooh, that's fine by me, actually. I'm neutral on Star Wars.
I think it's the most overrated thing like ever created.
But these are like Christina's 3 favorite things: Star Wars, Harry Potter, and Lord of the Rings.
Did you see the TikTok where you sent it to me? Actually, never mind.
Yeah.
That was Christina. Where it was like Harry Potter and Star Wars are like the same thing.
When Christina starts sending all those reels. Okay.
That means
What does it
that
mean?
means I'm taking a break from all of the customer emails, and I need like a endorphin hit.
Yeah. Like us not liking Lord of the Rings and Star Wars is pretty big.
George says, Josh, you would be proud. He had a Red Baron pizza yesterday.
Oh, you must have had a great fucking time.
I bet he did, actually. Yeah, I bet he did. Okay, Publius. All right.
Did you eat the whole thing by yourself?
Not in one sitting. In my prime, I could have easily taken down one of these in a sitting, but this is probably going to end up being like 3 meals.
Oh, I meant the Red Baron.
Oh, I'm sorry. George,
No,
did you consume the
everything's about you, Chris.
I know. I was too excited to discuss how much pizza I could eat. George said
Do you
yes.
Do you like the pizza like piping hot? Is this like ruining your pizza right now?
No. I need it to cool off a bit.
No. Okay. You don't want to burn your face like Dave Portnoy?
Correct.
Look,
And you know what, Dave? What would Dave Portnoy give this pizza?
1.
He said
One.
one of my favorite pizza spots, Venezia's, he called it Domino's. I did this last week. He called it Domino's and I gave it like a 5. So, he'd probably give Elliot's around there, 4 or 5.
What if I put Elliot's inside of Pepe's box?
Would he know the difference? Oh, like those wine taste testers,
You would easily know the
You know what? Somebody should expose this fraud that's been going on for too long. I need 10 boxes and all of them mixed up, and he doesn't know which one's which. And let's see him rank it blind.
Yeah, that's a great point because he always gets suckered into like the owner and like it's a small shop, it's not a chain. He like gives them higher scores that way.
Watch Domino's about to win it all.
Here's a Domino's. They make so many more pizzas than those other places. You don't think they've figured out how to make a good pizza by now?
Facts. Okay. Card Hunter 23 writes in to say, here's my important question. I always enjoy the show, fellas. That's it.
Dad,
Like,
did you notice?
Shout out Vinny Slaverino.
Did you notice he said fellas? He does not enjoy my part takes in the
Well,
show.
maybe you should
I should
take
shut
that
up.
back to the drawing board.
have you noticed that Vinny hasn't yet like drawn attention to himself about how he does that? He just keeps doing it. He doesn't need the accolades. He doesn't have to be like, haha, look at my funny intro. He just keeps doing it.
Dude, Vinny is just the paragon of efficiency. I just admire it so much. He created a lane for himself somehow.
And he hasn't letting it go into his head.
No.
He hasn't.
No, he has. He's just climbed the ranks, just consistent performance every week. Yeah.
He's like the Jokic of
He's
question
the
asker.
Jokic of the crossover. That's high praise, Vinny. Okay. Also, Christine, the reason why he said fellas is because he knows that it's us determining the priority of the questions. So he's kissing our butts because it has been said before that if you put something nice in your question, maybe it gets bumped up the line. And he knows you're not ranking the questions.
Oh, I'm totally ranking the questions. I just do it silently.
Oh, no. All right.
She told your laundry, but she doesn't rank your questions. Come on, stand up for yourself.
I'm just trying to help Card Hunter out here, but I'm not. All right. Damn. I think we'll just end on this one. 515 Sports Cards, who's had a lot of great questions tonight, says, what are your thoughts on Tom Brady's Bowman baseball card release that's coming soon?
Do you have a picture?
I do not.
I
don't know if a picture.
I didn't need
But
Bowman,
basically,
like
my understanding,
2023 Bowman baseball. He's going to be in it.
yeah, because my understanding is that he was drafted by MLB team at one
I believe
point.
the A's. Oakland A's.
Expos.
Expos.
And now there's going to be a
Baseball
card.
guy here.
Yeah.
You guys can't keep up.
Let's go. So now
The
he's,
Expos. That's not still a team, right?
No, they are now the Washington Nationals. Dude, I know so much about baseball, you guys, that it's getting embarrassing for you.
let's go. Okay, so I am cautious about this card because Carbon says the 1995 Expos, and it's going to be in Bowman draft. I'm just a little cautious about this card because, like, if we can call it like it is. It's just a bit of a gimmick, you know. It's a gimmicky card, which is okay. Not all gimmicks are bad, but it's not a genuine playing days card honoring the great Tom Brady's football career. It's like, hey, we found a little hack to slide him into a baseball product.
Look, no one cares about Jordan's baseball card, and he actually played baseball. So why do I care about Brady's?
Okay, can't let that slide. People do care about Jordan's baseball cards. They do collect them.
Because he has like his first on-card auto playing days is a baseball card. That's the only reason they care about it.
Indeed.
This is not the same. It's not similar.
Indeed, that's right. That's an important distinction. Look, but people will collect these. It's a novelty.
Just don't buy the first few because they're going to be way overpriced and they're going to come down. That's the key.
Yeah. Bingo. All right. Great show. Let's pick a title. I think I know which two it's going to come down to, but so I'll warm us up with some of the stuff I wrote down. Enormous backslide. Okay. Punished by the hobby gods. Chat GPT and VR National. Swinging on the monkey bars. Why did I write that down?
Because Stiff put it in the chat.
Okay, I have no recollection of what that's from. All right.
That was the kid that bought your McCaffrey.
Oh yeah, got it. All right. Fancy reclaimed wood. Shout out to Justin. Christina week, and then now we get to the real two. Is probably going to boil down to what inning is baseball in? Messiah bid.
All right. I always start with my thoughts first.
Yes.
Because I don't know why. Messiah bid is like the catchier one, but we've played that before, and I really like that baseball one. It's just really funny.
It is. Well, it is. It's a nice callback. Oh, we have an extra late entry. Fut. We could go with fut. If we...
What was the full context? You said something fut. What was it?
I was trying to say the word foot, and I came up with fut. I don't know why I was saying the word foot.
Well,
yeah. So you're leaning
I
towards.
think it should be called punching Christina in the face.
No.
well, Christina said that line, and that was the first time ever that she made me laugh. So I think we should honor that.
Wow. Okay. All right. On the judge's scorecard, that's like a 10-0 round.
Like she said that, and I laughed, and I was like, "Wow, she made a joke," and I laughed at it. That's amazing.
Nice. So you're leaning towards what inning is baseball in?
I think that's a good one, man, because it's like we had some decent amount of baseball talk. That's it. That's the only reason.
We did do some baseball talking. It's a nice callback to what inning is the hobby in. It is going to dethrone. This is like Pac Nicholson. He's not gonna get the 4-peat or whatever this would be.
Well, he got too cute and tried to play back an old hit, and sometimes people want some new creativity. We don't need another bid.
Look, he just make it to the finals is impressive. You know.
Do we have sign off from Stiff? He's the one that has to type these titles in. Is the what inning are we in?
Stiff, do you sign off on what inning is baseball in? Can't win every finals. Right. Exactly.
Just ask LeBron. He's lost a bunch of them.
You miss every shot you don't take.
Win
Okay.
Gretzky.
Okay, Stiff salutes. All right. What inning is baseball? Christina, congratulations.
Westbrook can definitely miss every shot he takes, though.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Christina has named an episode. Nicely done.
I'm more proud that I made Josh laugh for the first time. And everyone was witness to it, and he admitted it, so he can never say I'm not funny.
Well, the difference is that it's the first time that I laughed with you, and that.
All right.
No, I didn't say that.
I'm closing this because that Elliot's is calling me. See you guys later.
We're reaching the top.
A lot has changed since Card Ladder began. We started with 500 cards in our database, and now we have over 3 million cards and over 30 million sales.
For anyone asking who is the best, we putting our hands up.
With Card Ladder's sales history feature, we have virtually every card in our system. If the card you are looking for ever sold on one of these platforms, you can find it using Card Ladder's sales history, and you can add a card to your collection with just one click.
My time, none of you people can tell me to stop.
Plus, every card, no matter the last time it sold, has an estimated value that we calculated using our state-of-the-art player indexes. Unlike other apps, when you see Card Ladder's verified checkmark, that means a researcher personally vetted each and every sale.
We know what it takes to be reaching the top.
We know what you want, because Card Ladder was created by collectors for collectors.
Know what it takes to be reaching the top.
Join the innovators, not the imitators. Card Ladder 2.0, constantly innovating. Try it for free. See why Card Ladder is the industry leader in sports card data.
We know what it takes to be reaching the top.
Card Ladder 2.0.